most of you know, was put in place a year ago today, I think, by a significant majority of Californians. And if I were those supporters, here's what I would say was why they put it together. They said, you know, there are too many, especially drug-addicted people, going into state prison, and they're getting better addicted there because there's no rehabilitation. Instead, let's change those felonies that lead them to be in prison to misdemeanors. And if you do that and get them services, people can actually even turn their lives around, and we can eliminate some crowding in prisons that is leading judges to run our overcrowded prison system. That was sort of the theory of Prop 47. Then there were opponents of Prop 47 who said, wait a minute, the idea of changing felonies to misdemeanors requires more study than this. There are a whole bunch of impacts I can talk about in a second. No, it's not so fast, and crime could go up. It turns out most voters voted for it, and now here we are. So it happens that this is a huge issue to me because Prop 47 changes a bunch of felonies that are district attorney territory to misdemeanors. In most counties in the state, the district attorney prosecutes felonies and misdemeanors. So if a felony on Monday becomes a misdemeanor on Tuesday, the person who's handling it just charges it as a misdemeanor. Same people. But the writers of Prop 47 sort of failed to take account of Los Angeles, where we live. In our county, the DA handles felonies, the city attorney handles misdemeanors. So Prop 47 passes, and the next day it takes effect, and suddenly my office has responsibility for thousands of cases and no resources. Fortunately, we have a good relationship. Jackie Lacey and I work very well together, our district attorney, and she agreed to hold on to these cases for about 2 months while I sought from the city council some minor additional resources to assume this huge responsibility, and then now they're ours. If you saw in the newspaper yesterday, I've convened now a couple different meetings, one in July and one yesterday, among people who don't usually meet. The sheriff, the district attorney, the police chief, the presiding judge of the court system, the presiding judge of the criminal court system, the public defender, the alternate public defender, a key supervisor, Hilda Solis, were all in my office yesterday on this issue, as they were in July. And we're walking through a series of statistics that matter a lot. You should know, arrests for these crimes are way down. Those offenders under Prop 47 who we try to get to court because we're prosecuting them are not coming to court as frequently as other misdemeanors are. To give you an example, a lot of the defendants in our cases get what are called voluntary appearance letters. You get cited, and then you get this letter saying come to court, and more than half don't even come. So if the theory is get these people treatment, a large sector aren't even coming to court in the first place. The other issues, the police department did a random survey of 100 Prop 47 offenders, and they found 40% of them reoffended in a more serious way in a very short period of time. The sheriff had a similar analysis. The sheriff is in charge of jails. The jail system is crowded, and so the sheriff has a rule that you have to have a sentence of at least 60 days in order to be held in jail. The average sentence for a Prop 41 offender is 41 days. The result of this dynamic has been that as of about a month ago, one person has gotten court-supervised drug treatment in the city since last December. And about 60 have gotten something that relates to drug treatment, maybe a Narcotics Anonymous program. So the reason for convening everybody in the justice system, as I just described, people who never meet as a group, is each of us has to own some responsibility to do better. Because Prop 47 just enacted, the law's not changing right away, we have to do better with the existing law. And so, for example, my office has a 7-point plan to get people to appear in court more. We're working with the court system on a number of different sentencing structures. We're working with the county to see if there are some programs that could be actually applied to these offenders. And we're doing more. In my office, I went to the Federal Department of Justice and got a grant. There is a study that is now underway by 2 analysts as to the relationship between Prop 47 and crime. They're coming out to LA in about 10 days. We are trying a new pilot project in the Southwest Division of the city. Instead of waiting for someone to go through the justice system and these results are not very good, we're saying to them, if you're arrested for a drug crime, before you're even charged, if you go through a drug rehab program, we won't prosecute you because we want to get you the services. If the stick isn't working, an incentive, a carrot could work. We're about to try that experiment, and we went to a private foundation. We have a grant application pending to do that around the whole city. So there's a lot more to say. There's a lot that could be done, but we are convening people to get together and analyze each aspect of the system and improve each aspect of the system. We're making some headway. I can't say it's all been fixed yet, but literally yesterday in my office, we were trying to fix it. So we're on it. All right, yes.